Alright guys, my Disney Revival Age reviews leading up to Wish is now back. Yeah, after my Frozen 2 review, which is probably my proudest movie review ever, I decided to take a break from doing this marathon, and now officially I am back to doing it. So yeah, let's do this. Hey guys, this is Frozen Ding Studios here, and welcome back to another movie review. And today, I am going to be doing a review on Raya and the Last Dragon. So Raya and the Last Dragon came out in the year 2021 and is the first of the Walt Disney Animation Studios films to release in the 2020s decade, the current decade we're in, and is directed by Don Hall and Carlos Lopez Estrada. The former Don Hall, who directed Big Hero 6, Winnie the Pooh, and Strange World, and the other one, Carlos Lopez, directed a bunch of non-Disney films like Blind Spotting and a bunch of others that I have no clue about. I've seen Blind Spotting though; it's pretty good. And the film stars Kelly Marie Tran, Aquafina, Gemma Chan, Alan Tudyk, Isaac Wang, Benedict Wong, Daniel Day Kim, Sandra Oh, etc. Yeah, you heard me right. A kind of big cast ensemble. And so basically, the plot for Raya the Last Dragon, it tells a story taking place in this world of Kumandra where humans and dragons live together in harmony. But then there's this stone. I forgot the name. I think it's called. There's a stone. I honestly forgot the name. That kept the humans and dragons apart. And now there's like a bunch of villagers. There's a bunch of people, like different tribes of people who want their hands on this stone, or actually it's a gem, not a stone. This one girl named Raya is at the center of it all. Is at the center of this problem. Yeah, one day, because of a huge fight that broke out between all the tribes, the gem broke, and now, the world of Kumandra is being invaded by these monsters called the Drunes, years later, a much grown up Raya, is in this desert, in this deserted world, desperately trying to find the stones of the gem to be able to bringing this dragon, and as this seeks help, Raya unleashes this one of the dragons named Sisu, who becomes Raya's companion in a journey to how do I say, in a journey to bring back the dragon tribe so that humans and dragons can live together. And also I must stop Namari as well. Namari is the main villain of the movie, who apparently who was the reason behind all this mess. Even when she was a little kid, she was already evil, who was working for Fang. Yeah, Fang is the name of the evil tribe. I forgot the name of the good tribe, but yeah, well, I don't know. I don't remember I don't memorize a lot of names, by the way. Raya and Sisu hire a bunch of builds his own team with people who've lost their families, just like how Raya lost her dad in the June attack, they must work together to be able to stop Namari. Although some of them do believe that it's actually trust that helps them, is that they have to trust Namari, because apparently the message of the movie is about trust. So I just want to start this off by saying that I am a Southeast Asian myself, and this is a movie that represents Southeast Asia. I know it's kind of like Indonesian or something like that. If you know me so well, you know that I am from the Philippines. So this movie should make a big impact on me, because this is a Disney movie that is representing my kind of people, my kind of race, Southeast Asian. yeah, we've seen Disney tackle different, diverse, races a lot, which is actually one thing that makes Disney my favorite studio is how it tackles with different, how it dives into different category. No, how do I say this? Dives into different races. Like for example, France with Beauty and the Beast, Africa with Lion King. Well, kinda, even though it's mostly just an animal cast. China with Mulan. China with Mulan. Oh yeah, Indians with Pocahontas. Japan with Big Hero 6. Wait, there's another one. And yeah, many others. And now, yeah, once again, Disney is going for the diverse representation with Raya and the Last Dragon. This time around, tackling my kind. Yes, Southeast Asia. So this movie has gotta be something, right? Yeah, I remember back when this movie came out in theaters, I overpraised the movie. Like, I went in thinking, oh, this is one of the best movies ever made. Yeah, I consider this as one of the best movies of all time. And I remember this was my most anticipated movie of 2021. Yeah, at the start of the year, like back then, I actually put this as my most anticipated movie in 2021, hoping for this to be the best movie of that year. And the reason why this was my most anticipated movie of the year is because it's a Walt Disney Animation Studios movie. Not only that, but this is a follow-up to my all-time favorite movie, Frozen 2. So, of course, if you have a Disney movie that is a follow-up from Frozen 2, you know it's going to be good. And not to mention as well, this is their return to form for Walt Disney Animation Studios' original films. Yeah, apparently, after Moana, they stick to Disney decided to do a bunch of sequels, and then we didn't even get to see a live action. No, not live action, but an original animated film in 5 years. Yeah, the gap from Moana to Raya is like 5 years. Well, technically 4.5 since Moana came out in like the end of 2016, and Raya came out in like the start the start of the year. And yeah, and yes, and yeah, people, since this is the return to form, considering that we had Ralph Racing Internet, we had Ralph Racing Internet and Frozen 2. Two polar opposites. You have Ralph Racing Internet being the worst of the revival era, and Frozen 2 doing the same. How you feel about that film? A lot of people were like, "Oh, Raya and the Last Dragon could be Disney's redemption," and yeah, I was actually very overjoyed to see that Raya getting all the praise. Like 97%. Well, at the time, now it's at 93% as I'm recording this. But yeah, seeing like how high the Rotten Tomatoes score is just makes me very happy. Like, I was like, yes, this is Disney. This is the way to go. This is the way to go. But unfortunately, though, this movie, you know how you know about people's reactions towards Turning Red, where like critics absolutely love it, but then the audiences are divided, where some would outright hate it, while others would actually enjoy it. Well, that's basically with Raya and the Last Dragon, a movie that critics love, but audiences are divided on it. Yes, it does have a 97% on audience rating, which is actually kind of weird because I remember this movie was like at 78%. When I saw this movie in theaters, the audience was like that low. But yeah, the audiences are pretty divided on this movie. There are some people who absolutely love this movie and call it like one of Disney's hidden gems, and some even call this a top tier revival age films. And then you got the other people who you got the side of people who say, oh, this movie is disappointing, this movie is bad, and some would even go as far as calling this one of the worst films in the Disney revival era. Thankfully, it's at least more well received than Frozen 2, although at the same time, it's just sad that Frozen 2 had to be received like that. But yeah, anyway, so let's focus on Raya and the Last Dragon. So yeah, And yeah, apparently all the praise that Raya could have gotten went to Encanto. Went to Encanto. And I don't blame them. I actually agree with them that Encanto is the superior movie. Cause yeah, I mean, Raya and the Last Dragon was like a film that I was hyped for and wasn't surprised and that I ended up loving it. Encanto, on the other hand, I think Encanto is better for me because Encanto is the better Disney animated film of 2021 for me because of the impact it made. Yeah, it was such a very impactful movie. That movie made so much impact on me and in ways that I didn't even expect, man. Yeah, the movie is just beautiful. And rightfully, it rightfully deserved the best animated feature win. Feature win. So yeah, even though yes, I already said that Encanto's better. I got out of the way because I already reviewed Encanto on my channel back in July 2022, and I think that review still aged well to this day. Yeah, maybe despite some background noises and all that stuff, I think that the review, based on what the things I said, based on everything I covered up in that review, I think it's still aged well. So I'm not gonna redo it. Although I might rewatch Encanto for in preparation for Wish, for my pleasure. So yeah, for my pleasure. So yeah, but even though I already said that I prefer Encanto over Raya and the Last Dragon, do I still think Raya and the Last Dragon is a great movie? Well, I gotta say, hell yes. Raya and the Last Dragon is still a great movie. Well, I will admit though, it doesn't hold up as a masterpiece, as a perfect film as much as I thought. I will say that, yeah, I did overpraise this movie, calling it a perfect movie. 3.5 years later, actually 2.5 years later, I realized that Raya is not a perfect movie, and not even among the best Disney Revival Age movies. My criticism with the movie, my flaw of the movie that takes us away from being perfect is some of the humor. Yeah, yeah, there are like a few characters that annoy me at times. Specifically Sisu and Bone. Yeah, I know Sisu is voiced by Aquafina. And yeah, I know Sisu is voiced by Aquafina. And yeah, Aquafina. While I do like Aquafina overall, especially in films like Shang-Chi, where she literally like, you know, where her comedy is like peak level. She has like Shang-Chi, and also what's that movie? Renfield, which shows Aquafina in which shows a different side of Aquafina. And yes, I do think Renfield is Aquafina's best performance in my opinion. Yeah, this movie. Yeah, wait, sorry. But yeah, Aquafina can be either really good or annoying. I found her annoying in the kind of overrated Crazy Rich Asians, but in this movie, she's a mix of both, annoying and just okay. I guess okay, I can get through this. Aquafina is kind of annoying at times, especially when especially when Raya gave when Raya brought Sisu alive, yeah, and then Sisu just became annoying and talkative, and I was like, oh yeah, and also there was this one fart joke scene that was probably the worst part of the film. Yeah, this whole scene with Sisu looking at this bug's butt, and then the bug just farts at Sisu. Ugh, yeah, not my type of scene, and not my type of joke. I mean. And also, Bowen is just kind of annoying and cheesy, yeah. And also Tong as well. Honestly, I wish we got a little more character development and depth from the supporting characters. Though at least they're memorable enough. That's what I'll give them. They're at least memorable enough. Yeah, I remember the names: Bone, Tong. Okay, yeah, the baby I don't remember. The baby I don't remember her name, but besides those minor nitpicks, oh yeah, also There is one insanely stupid scene where that just made me cringe. Yeah, there was just one scene that made me absolute cringe. That pretty much took away the 5-star rating. There's a scene where all the main characters were making this plan. We're planning out on how to stop Namari, and then Caesar's plan is basically, oh, we walk up to Namari with a confronting face, and then Caesar's like, oh, do you trust me? Yeah, and Mike's like, yes, and then best friends forever. And oh my, that scene just made me cringe hard. Okay, but other than those minor nitpicks or maybe kind of flaws, 50-50 flaws with this film, the rest of the film is excellent. It sucks that no one talks about this anymore. This movie is kind of like Big Hero 6. So when it comes to its critical reception, when it comes to its reception, whereas it got positive reviews, but then yeah, people talking about this movie when it came up, but now this movie is being forgotten. And while this movie does have its fan base, this movie does have a hate base as well. People who say that this movie sucks. Yeah. So but I personally defend Raya and the Last Dragon. It's not Frozen 2 or Big Hero 6 level underrated, and I doubt it'll be as underrated as So Wish. Yeah, I'm not gonna get over what critics did to Wish. It's unforgivable. But this movie is underrated. Yeah, I don't get the hate for this film. But yeah, now time for me to give all the positives and explain why I love Raya and the Last Dragon. Why I think this is such an excellent movie. Such a damn good movie. I'm gonna start off with probably the one thing that a lot of people criticize this movie for the most. It's the messages. Yeah, people say the message is toxic. You can't trust everyone, and then the message is just basically trust people, and people also complain that that the movie is very preachy with its message, which is probably what drew people away from this film. But honestly, I gotta say to those people, no, honestly, I get where you're coming from, because they repeat the word trust a lot, which can get suspicious. But I personally think that this movie was really good. I personally think that the message was very well handled, and it was such a powerful message. Yeah, they do tell you it a lot, but I didn't feel like they were hammering the message down our throats. Yeah, this movie has such a voice that really spoke to me, and the message of this film did feel very inspirational. The theme of the movie is trust. It's rarely done in a movie, and I believe it's something that really connects with me. And because I also have a hard time, trusting people. I know it is also good to not trust anyone, because people can do bad, but what this movie is trying to say is, trying to see the good in people, even though some people may be bad. We all can see the good in people. Not everyone has to be bad, and I like that message. I really like that message, showing us how some people can be good. Not all bad people can be good deep down, and that's actually why we had Namari as a redemption arc, from being a villain to just simply revealed to be a misunderstood character, and joins the hero side. I'll talk about Namari's character later. I also love how this movie tackles themes of unity and division, and how they can lead into love or hate, depending on which side you're on. This movie has a lot of political messaging in it, but for good reasons. The theme of world division was done in another certain animated film this decade. Oh god, Trolls World Tour. By the way, how come people are okay with Trolls World Tour? Trolls World Tour telling this message of unity and division, but they're slamming King and Raya for it. But yeah, Trolls World Tour did it in a way that feels so preachy, and and it is annoying. But Raya never. Yes, it is preachy, but it's done in a way that never really bothered me. I think we can all agree that this movie isn't original. It does have some elements of Avatar: The Last Airbender, Kung Fu Panda, Trolls World Tour, and even Avengers Endgame. Basically, the plot aspect of how the film started off with an Infinity War like ending where this this thing made wiped almost all the population, and then you got the surviving group of people who are left, and they all team up to be able to bring everyone back. I forgot to mention that in the plot. That was actually the main mission, not just to stop Namari, but also stop the curse to the June curse in order to bring back the character, to bring back their loved ones, and that's pretty much what makes it similar to Endgame, and yes, but I think, yeah, people, this movie's quote unquote unoriginality is actually one thing that made people dislike this movie, but actually, guys, I gotta tell y'all, just because a movie is unoriginal doesn't mean it's not bad. That's why there's the execution. That's why we have that. We look at the execution, not just all of the plots are original or not. Because let's be real here, not all movies can be original. It all depends on execution. There are some movies where it copies an older movie, but the new one can actually tell the story better. In fact, yeah, Raya most certainly told the story far, far, far better than Trolls World Tour did. I think we can all agree on that. We can all agree in that. Yeah. But yeah, the world building is absolutely excellent. I adore it. I am so invested in Kumandra and like the culture of it all. And I actually want to visit Kumandra. It's not really a place that I want to visit. Like I want to live. It's not one of Disney's best locations, but it is such a gorgeous location. And it is such a gorgeous location that perfectly fits the narrative of the movie. The time period, assuming this takes place like many years ago, it really how do I say this? Yeah, it really stood out. I also love that that Chinese marketplace where they go to, where they pick up this baby and the baby attacks them. Yeah, I like that scene. Oh yeah, can we actually talk about the score from James Newton Howard? I will say that the score might just be the standout of the movie. And I think it's one of the absolute best scores in the entire Disney Revival era. Yeah, sure, you got incredible scores from Wreck-It Ralph, Big Hero 6, and especially Frozen 2. Frozen 2 still has the best score in the Revival era, but I'd say that James Newton Howard's score for this film is pretty much one of the absolute best that Disney has ever done. Yeah, sure, it's not as good as Crystal Beck's score in Frozen 2. It certainly ain't Hans Zimmer's score for Lion King, but damn, I don't know anyone who can say that this score is bad. This score is so unique and like it's so refreshing. I've never heard any score like this, and it just gave me goosebumps and chills when I heard this new score. With the hey oh hey oh hey oh. Sorry, I just sorry, I'm just sorry if it's out of tune, but. Yeah, I mean that score is just so memorable. I'm already getting goosebumps just hearing it in my head. It is just the music in this film is just so excellent. I love it. Love it. And also, by the way, the animation once again shows how Disney can take things to the next level. The animation is perfect, very attention to detail and realistic. Yeah. I said this in a lot of my Disney Revival age reviews, but I am just sick of people just saying that 3D animation is uncreative, but we need 2D animation or Spider-Verse animation styles. So stick to them because at least they have creativity. And yeah, I'm sick of people just saying that 3D animation has no creativity. Have you do you guys not realize that 3D animation is actually very hard? Yeah, 3D animation may be more technologically advanced, but it it actually is very effective to me, even more than comic book style animation and 2D hand-drawn animation, because you know, making these characters look very realistic is actually a good thing. It's actually a good thing for me because it's making this feel realistic. It's a huge point of creativity, making it look like it's real. You don't need to have these wacky cartoony stuff and the background visual noises just to be creative. 3D animation is creative. And by saying that 3D animation is all lazy, you're pretty much insulting the animators who worked on these 3D animations. Some of these 3D animations took years to make. Yeah, believe me about that. Believe me about that. Yeah, and I think this movie has one of the best Disney best animations of Disney. I will say that one thing Raya stands out from some of the other Disney revival age movies, especially in this decade, like like if this one thing that this movie stands out from Encanto, it's the animation. Yes, I will say that this movie has better animation than Encanto, and definitely Strange World too. I'm sure Wish will dethrone this one, but right now, dethrone this one animation wise, but right now, just based solely on the animation, I think this has the second best best looking Disney revival age film, second best looking Disney film, the second most visually gorgeous Disney animated film, second only behind, well, of course, Frozen 2, the best looking movie ever. What else is there to say? And besides, my minor flaws with some characters, I absolutely love them. Yeah, I personally love them. Boone, I don't like that much. He's fine. Tom, I like Tom. I like how tough he is, despite him not getting much development. Sisu is great, despite a few scenes with Sisu being cringe. I actually thought that Sisu actually had compelling character, had a compelling character arc. She just wants to get her dragon tribe back, and she's actually the one who motivates Raya to trust others. She's the one who delivers the message to Raya, and therefore the audiences too. And like what I said, they don't do it in a way that shoves it down your throat. And then we got Kelly Marie Tran as Raya. Yeah. Oh, yeah, by the way, the voice acting is really great too, especially with the big name stars. Yeah. Raya is such a great protagonist. A lot of people I know say that Raya sucks, and would even call her one of the worst Disney protagonists. But actually, no, I disagree strongly. I think Raya is such an amazing protagonist, such a very compelling protagonist who had such great character character growth, starting off with not believing in trust to actually trusting and forgiving Namari. And forgiveness is actually one of the things that this movie can how do I say this? Forgiveness is one of the things that this movie tells us, with the message and all that stuff. And yeah, Kelly Marie Tran, I gotta say, this is her best performance ever. Yeah, even over Rose Tico from Star Wars. Yeah, let's be real here. I mean, she was just wasted in Rise of Skywalker, but yeah, this is her best performance, her definitive performance. But yeah, Tuk Tuk is also adorable. I mean, I love it when Disney just gives us these adorable little creatures. But the standout of this movie, the standout, my personal favorite character is Namari, voiced by Gemma Chan. I mean, Gemma Chan, honestly, yeah. Remember when I said that Cersei is Gemma Chan's best performance? Well, that's kind of true, but honestly, I think that I would say that both Cersei and Namari are tied as my favorite Gemma Chan performance. Yeah, I mean, I just her voice acting is just spot on, and Namari is such a very complex villain. She's actually one of my favorite Disney revival age villains, up there with King Runard with King Runard and most likely King Magnifico. Yeah, yeah. I will say that I personally prefer Namari over King Candy, Hans Callahan and Callahan. Yeah, Bellwether. Yeah, but Namari is is right now my second favorite this year Revival Age villain, second only behind King Runar. But yeah, I'm sure when Wish comes out, Namari will be in third place because King Magnifico is about to dethrone Namari. But I don't know if he'll dethrone King Magnifico though. Let's see for ourselves. But yeah, Namari is such a compelling villain with such motivation that with with a very interesting motivation and throughout the movie, despite Namari just constantly just wanting to kill Raya, you really can see that the good in her. Like throughout the movie, you can clearly see that I think Namari is going to change. I think she should change because you can at least see heart in her. And I think Namari her villain arc redemption is one of the best redemption arc stories of any villains. Like almost as good as Darth Vader's redemption arc. And yeah, by the end, when Namari just redeems herself, it just leaves an impact. It leaves such a great impact. And that's why I think Namari is the star of the movie. And let's talk about the action scenes. The action scenes in this movie are very intense and almost realistic. Especially all the fight choreography between Raya and the Namari, like they feel like real fights. Like you feel like they're actually fighting in real life. And the stunts, the use of weapons, the wielding of swords, it's all just done to perfection. I love those fight scenes. Especially especially like in that snowy world where they meet Tong, Benedict Wong's character. I forgot the name again. I don't memorize any of the names except Kumandra. But very intense. That action scene, you all know what I'm talking about, is the standout. What an incredible, insanely epic fight scene that was. It was just so good, man. So good, and I guess that's all. So overall, Raya and the Last Dragon may not have made as much of a big impact to me as it did 2 years ago, but it still is an amazing film that I would consider as one of Disney's more underrated films. It's not perfect, but it is excellent. It has a great plot despite not being despite being a little unoriginal, is actually well executed up to the point where you can easily forgive the story for being unoriginal. Great characters that were, even although some may not have and some of them could have been developed better. Characters who are very compelling and deeply written, a very deep and inspiring message that this movie gives us, and it doesn't hammer it down our throats as much as some people think. And the animation is perfect, one of the best looking animated films I have ever seen. And I just love how realistic it is. The world building is amazing. The Southeast Asian representation is also spot on. And I just love 95% of everything about this film. I don't care what the haters say. I think this movie deserves far more recognition. So with that said, I'm going to give Raya and the Last Dragon a 4.5 stars out of 5, a near perfect film. I'd like to apologize if you found this review to be a little disjointed. I have a feeling some people might point it out, but I just feel a little tired. I'm just very tired from school, but I still needed to do this. That's all for my review of Raya and the Last Dragon. What are your thoughts on the film? Would you agree with me that this movie is underrated and deserves more recognition? Or are you one of those people who isn't a big fan of this movie? Comment down below, like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and stay tuned for my review on Strange World, the final Disney Revival Age movie that I will review in this marathon leading up to Wish. And yes, people, Wish comes out officially comes out tomorrow. Yippee! Not just in my area, but initially in the U.S. as well. Yes. I was supposed to be. I was originally planning to see Wish tomorrow, but unfortunately, yeah, due to a tight. Although sadly, I'm gonna be having a pretty tight school schedule tomorrow, like schedule in my college. So I don't think I'll have enough time to watch to watch Wish and open the day. So I'm gonna be seeing. If you're wondering when I will see Wish, I will watch it on Thursday at the 12:45 p.m. showing, and I'm gonna see it a second time, like next week. If it's good enough for me to warrant a second viewing, I'm sure it will though. So yeah, bye guys.